Hey you guys, it's Reggie, and what I wanted to talk about today, because I haven't finished getting it off my chest, is pretty much what I talked about yesterday. I still can't believe all this outrage, all these protests, was based on an out of context video. That's crazy to me. I mean, like, people fell for it, and from the very beginning, I was like, I'm not sure it's that simple as that. And when people went crazy, I was like, I'm not sure this deserves all this. Like I just don't see it. And then the video comes out. We see the whole footage from beginning to end, and you realize this has nothing to do with racism at all. That George Floyd was resisting arrest, and that two out of the four cops weren't even white. They were minorities. It's like all these protests. I mean, you see all these murals across the whole world. You got literally holograms of George Floyd being put in front of statues and stuff like that. And just him being memorialized as if he was a good person. I'm not saying he was an awful person, but he definitely was not a good person that led a good life. I mean, he screwed up his life. I mean, he robbed somebody at gunpoint, a pregnant woman at that. He was a drug addict. He was a like 9-time criminal offender. And he was 46 years old, still on drugs. Still on drugs. And had children too, like as young as 9 years old. I mean, what 46-year-old man goes out, does drugs, carrying around counterfeit bills, and has to raise children? I mean, I got 4 kids of my own. And I just can't imagine living that kind of lifestyle at 46 while raising my children, still on drugs. And I'm not saying that, I'm not demeaning addicts and addiction problems and all that. But all I'm saying is he was not a very good person. He was not an upright citizen. But we memorialized him. He literally had a golden casket funeral, y'all. Golden casket. In a time of quarantine where nobody was supposed to be celebrating or going to their family members who died's funeral. You couldn't even visit family members in the hospital. But this guy got a gold casket, and top celebrities and mayors packing into a church for a funeral? This guy. And that makes sense. I'm really surprised more people isn't angry. To me, that makes me angry. I'm like, that's crazy. He wasn't a hero. He didn't invent nothing great. He didn't even do that good. He wasn't some big charity giver or nothing like that. He was an extremely flawed person. But we're turning him out to be a hero. And people are falling hook, line, and sinker. People are falling for this left and right. The masses are falling for it. And they're doing protests and outrage out of an out of context video that obviously shows that George Floyd did this to himself. I'm not saying Derek Chauvin was right in putting a knee in the neck, but George Floyd, they tried to put him in the back of the cop car. You saw it. And he was fighting them the whole time saying, I don't want to be there. He literally said, put me on the ground. He was obviously experiencing delirium. He was crazy because of the drugs. So of course the cops are going to put him on the ground. Of course they're going to try to subdue him. I'm not saying they did it right, but of course they're going to try. What do you think? And people are going crazy about that situation, saying that's a sign of racism in America. Really? You couldn't wait for the evidence to come out. You couldn't wait for the body cam footage to come out. Instead, you're taking your pitchforks, your fires, and you're causing riots and protests, and you're burning and killing cops and killing causing the deaths of regular citizens, and all this stuff. I mean, just in the news the other day, in the Portland riots, they're getting into suburbs, and they're destroying police precincts and try to run over a police officer yesterday. 30 deaths, untold injuries as a result of these protests. More than the amount of black people that are killed in a year. Unarmed black people killed in a year by cops. You've killed more people than you say the cops killed in a year. Stupid. Stupid, stupid, stupid. So stupid. When are we gonna wake up? When are we gonna wake up? I knew people were always idiots. I mean, from the beginning of time, humans were dumb and easily fall for cons and stuff like that. But we live in the age of information, of science and technology, and people just didn't have the brain power to just wait and get the full story. They did this with Michael Brown. They did this with George Floyd. They did this with Trayvon Martin. And we're to keep doing it again. We're going to keep falling for it again. I don't know. We'll see what happens in the future, right? Maybe we'll collectively grow smarter eventually. Right now, I'm not seeing it. Keep falling for the same tricks over and over again. See you guys later.